On November 5, 1975, at the Mogollon Rim near Snowflake, Arizona, a logging crew of 7 men commenced their day's labor. The early morning presented clear skies. Among them was Travis Walton, positioned near the front, operating chainsaws and examining tree markers. The group coordinated workspaces approximately 50 feet apart, each man moving deliberately through the rugged terrain. The location, at approximately 34.45 degrees north, 110.5 degrees west, lay dense with ponderosa pines, the forest floor covered by fallen needles and underbrush. The Dewey Berry logging camp was situated within a clearing 5 miles from the closest paved road. The site comprised several tents and temporary buildings, each placed approximately 10 feet apart. Equipment was dispersed haphazardly around the area, with chains, axes, and fuel cans proximate to the structures. Smoke from a cooking fire lingered in the westward breeze. The ground was uneven, marked by tire tracks and footpads crisscrossing in a chaotic yet functional grid. As the clock approached 16:30 hours, the crew concluded their work for the day. Tools were systematically gathered and fuel levels checked with precision. Men discussed their laborious tasks, standing in small clusters, approximately 2 feet between each individual. Plans were made for the evening's return journey. A single truck, parked 25 feet from the nearest pile of log trees, was prepared for their departure. The engine, checked mechanically, signaled readiness as conversations transitioned to personal matters. At 16:45 hours, the crew departed the Dewey Berry logging camp, heading north on the unpaved service road. The vehicle, a 1965 International Harvester pickup truck, carried all 7 crew members. As the truck advanced, the fading sunlight limited visibility to approximately 50 meters. The dense forest on either side created a tunnel-like effect, contributing to the isolation of their route. The only audible sound within the vehicle's cabin was the persistent hum of the engine, interrupted occasionally by the shifting of gears. At approximately 17:15 hours, the logging crew observed a light above the tree line. The light presented a blue-white hue, detectable from its high-frequency emission. Crew members reported the light as anomalous, given the absence of natural or artificial sources in the vicinity. The object remained stationary, holding at an undetermined altitude slightly beyond the treetops. Members of the crew exchanged visual verification, confirming the singularity of the light against the dusky sky. The pickup truck halted approximately 30 feet from the perceived origin of the light. Crew members registered a visible object categorized as unidentified. Travis Walton exited the vehicle despite verbal detentions from his fellow workers. His position transitioned from the truck's interior toward the light source, ignoring calls from within the cab. Other members remained stationary within the vehicle, observing Walton's approach from a fixed position. The atmosphere within the vehicle was marked by silence, punctuated only by the ambient environmental sounds. At 17:16 hours, Travis Walton stands directly beneath the unidentified craft. The light emitted from the object changes in pattern, alternating between regular pulsations and irregular flares. The brightness level intensifies to approximately 3 times its initial luminosity. Within the truck, the crew observes from a measured distance of approximately 30 feet. No physical interaction occurs between the craft and surrounding environment. The craft remains stationary in midair, maintaining a fixed position relative to the forest floor. At 17:17 hours, an unexpected energy discharge occurs. A sudden force propels Walton to the ground, posterior of his approximate standing location under the craft. Crew members observe this from within the truck, maintaining a distance of 20 feet. The force lacks visible origin, yet produces a clear effect, resulting in Walton's fall. No additional sounds or discharges are detected after the initial event. The object remains in its suspended position above the ground post-incident. Upon observation of Walton's incapacitation, the crew rapidly evaluates their immediate situation. At 17:18 hours, the decision to evacuate the site is executed. The truck accelerates northward towards Snowflake, Arizona. Internal atmosphere registers elevated levels of tension. Crew members remain silent, each processing the event in isolation. No visual contact is maintained with the object or Walton post-departure. Route configuration indicates direct path along unpaved road, leading away from the location of the incident. At 18:45 hours, the logging crew arrived at a gas station located 2 miles from the forest periphery. The station, a small structure with 2 fueling pumps and a lit fluorescent sign, became a point of immediate concern. The crew exited their vehicle, maintaining a defensive proximity to each other. A phone, mounted beside a vending machine, was used to contact local authorities. Discussions were terse and precise, focusing on Walton's disappearance and the observed light phenomenon. The authorities advised the crew to remain at the station until their arrival to gather initial statements. In the days following, search operations commenced under the direction of local law enforcement. Teams of volunteers and officers, numbering approximately 40, methodically traversed the area surrounding the logging site. The ground search extended to cover dense thickets and uneven terrain. On the second day, Walton's hard hat was located 50 feet from his last known position. Despite comprehensive efforts, no additional physical evidence was documented. Varying weather conditions, including intermittent rain, complicated the search. Efforts were exhaustive, yet yielded no conclusive findings regarding Walton's fate. During Walton's unexplained absence, investigative focus shifted to the logging crew. The crew was subjected to rigorous polygraph testing, conducted in a controlled environment. Testing apparatus included pneumographs and galvanometers, calibrated for optimal accuracy. Results revealed consistent alignment in testimonies, with minor discrepancies attributed to psychological stress. Detailed reports indicated no significant deviations that warranted suspicion, despite external pressures and intense scrutiny from the community. The investigation continued, striving to maintain objective assessment amid local speculation regarding the phenomenon's nature. On November 10, 1975, at 12:05 hours, Travis Walton re-emerged. He was discovered near a rural roadway outside Heber, Arizona, 15 miles southwest from the initial incident point. Witnesses located Walton lying supine on the gravel shoulder, exhibiting signs of dehydration and disorientation. Medical examination evidenced minor abrasions and a 5-day growth of facial hair, consistent with his reported absence. Walton's account detailed conscious memory of being inside an unidentified craft, including observation of entities he could not categorize. His claims introduced considerable debate regarding the credibility of the event. Following Walton's return, multiple theories emerged. Psychologists considered possibilities of shared delusion or trauma-induced hallucination among the logging crew. Alternative hypotheses posited deliberate fabrication for public attention. Experts in astrophysics and ufology offered differing opinions, suggesting potential encounters with non-terrestrial technology. Forensic examination of physical evidence provided inconclusive results, with no detectable changes to the incident site or Walton's physical condition verifying extraterrestrial involvement. Expert opinions remained divided, with none achieving consensus regarding the objective truth of the events described by Walton and his associates. Returning to the perimeter of the original logging site years later reveals an overgrown landscape. Vegetation has reclaimed the area, displaying no signs of the prior incident. Ground analysis yields no abnormal radiation levels or soil compaction indicative of craft landing. The logging site stands largely silent with the exception of natural ambient sounds. As the investigation concludes, questions remain unanswered regarding the true nature of the events that transpired in these woods. The case persists in public consciousness without definitive resolution, leaving an enduring legacy in the annals of unsolved encounters.